Welcome to our first stop in Scandinavia. This is the country of Denmark. Home to 444 islands and 5 national parks, this country combines both urban and natural beauty. Let's explore what Denmark has to offer. Alright, we have officially arrived in Copenhagen, Denmark. Just got to the hotel. We have about a day and a half here in Copenhagen. So we're going to spend this half day. We're going to go to a little fortress, see how cool it is. Alright, we arrived at the Kastellet here in Copenhagen, about a 2-mile walk through the city from the hotel. Beautiful walk through probably one of the busiest streets in Copenhagen. This is said to be one of the most preserved fortresses in Northern Europe, and just from the looks of it, from the beginning, it seems like a very valid argument. A little bit of history about the Kastellet. It was used for defense against the UK in 1807 in the Battle of Copenhagen. Then in the 1940s, in the German invasion of Denmark, it was seized without pretty much any resistance by the Germans. Today it is still used by the Department of Defense, but for the most part it is a city park, and a beautiful one at that.
With the dawn of redeeming grace, Jesus Lord at thy birth, Jesus Lord.
Alright, so we are heading out of the Kastellet, a perfect first stop here in Copenhagen. It's very important for me on these trips to make the first stop special. The Kastellet here in Copenhagen. In Luxembourg, it was the Weiden Castle. In Ireland, in a few days, it's going to be the Cliffs of Moher, which by the time I upload this video, I will have already visited, so I'll insert a little preview clip of that. But yes, doing something special on the first stop in a new country is something very important to me, because it sets the tone for the rest of the country, of what you should expect, what it should live up to. So again, a great first stop here in Copenhagen. Let's go see a little mermaid. Alright, so that little mermaid statue does represent a mermaid turning into a human. It was unveiled in 1913. I did not expect it to be as popular as it was. There was a good group of people taking pictures of it. It wasn't even on the itinerary for today, but it was right next to the Kastellet. So I had to stop by. Apparently it's a major attraction, and I did not expect that. Alright, I think we are going to start heading back to the hotel for the night. I'll see you guys when I get back to the hotel. Alright, we're ready to go for day 2, but we're going to go to an observation deck and a castle, probably get lunch, and then go to a palace. So let's go. Our first stop of the day is simply just known as the Round Tower here in Copenhagen. Originally opened as an astronomical observatory, today is just a normal viewing observatory. In retrospect, it's not that tall, only 126 feet above the ground, but with Europe's architecture and the city of Copenhagen being no different, it gives you a great view towering over the city. You could even spot the Rosenborg castle from the top of the observatory, which is our next stop, so let's get going. I just left the Rosenborg Castle. As you can see from the videos, there's a reason why it's one of, if not the top attractions here in Copenhagen. Pricing for our past two attractions haven't been bad either. The tower was $6, this one was $14, so $20, two activities. Pretty good. I did use a student discount because I still have my ID, but still not bad. Next we're gonna head to Christiansborg's Palace, our final planned attraction for today. Then we might head to Sweden after that. Alright, we're here at the Christiansborg Palace. I thought this was going to be like a palace or a castle. Little did I know till recently, it's actually the parliament for the government of Denmark. It's also the only building in the world to house all three branches of a country's government. Alright, so I was right and wrong. It is a palace, but it is also the parliament. It was the most expensive attraction of the day. The price of this was the price of the other castle and the tower together, but it was worth it. It was beautiful. Parliament was unfortunately just not accessible. The free lookout tower was also a nice surprise. Perfect final attraction here in Copenhagen. Now I think we're gonna head to Sweden. It's gonna do it tomorrow, but we have time today. Let's go. And just like that, we're in Sweden. About a 35-40 minute train ride from Copenhagen. We are in the city of Malmö, outside the architecturally famous Turning Torso. I knew about this building, had no idea it was in Sweden, let alone the city of Malmö. So it's a sight to see in person. Hopefully it comes through on the camera. So yeah, here in Sweden, not gonna film pretty much anything else while I'm here. At the end of the day, this video is about Denmark. This is more to show that if you're in Denmark and you're visiting, which is kind of the point of the video, seeing what you can do in this country, this is a very easy day trip, half a day trip, 35-40 minute ride from Copenhagen. And if you've never been to Sweden, you can mark that country off your list of visited countries. So again, most to explore here for a couple hours, take the train back to Copenhagen. Back in the hotel, exhausted, up since 2:30 this morning. It's only about 8 o'clock right now, but I'm ready to just do a little bit of work, video work, and then go to bed. Tomorrow is all about the Danish countryside. We're getting the car at 9, I think. The cliff sides are supposed to be incredible. We'll do a little bit of hiking, see the side of Denmark that's not in the city, that's not in Copenhagen. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Gonna get some sleep. Alright, good morning. Denmark day 3. Today we're exploring the countryside. Gotta go pick up the rental car. Got about 10 hours of sleep last night, so I'm feeling well rested, a lot better. So we'll see you guys when we get the car. Alright, we just picked up the car. Pretty nice car. They did upgrade me, so shout out to them. Now we got about hour 45, 2-hour drive to Møns Klint. So let's get going. Let's drive in Denmark. About hour 45 minutes later, we've arrived here at Møns Klint. Not that many people here. Parking is only €6 for the whole day, so as far as the cliffside, it should be perfectly free, just paying for parking. So let's go see what this is all about. So you can either stay high on the cliffs or go down to the beach. You can see the cliffs from down there. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna start with. Then we'll come back up to the top. Just like that, about 5-minute walk later, we are down here at the beach, being towered over by these limestone cliff sides. A little chilly, pretty windy as to be expected, but I mean, this is beautiful, perfect day outside as well. Alright, so as you can see, there's another staircase at the other end of the beach. I'm gonna assume it connects back up to the main trail. So we're gonna see these cliffs from above. made it to the top. This one was a lot steeper than the one I went down on the way down to the beach. Take it at your own speed. Let's try to get some good view of these cliffs. Really hope how blue that water is coming across in the video, because I mean it's reminding me of waters I swam in the Caribbean and in Africa. So it's just truly beautiful, truly something special. In my opinion, this is how you truly explore a country. The cities are great. Copenhagen, absolutely beautiful. But seeing this, I mean, nothing beats it. It was the same thing when I was in Luxembourg. The city beautiful, but the nature, the countryside, that's where you really see the heart of a country. This is just one of those surreal moments that you can't believe that this is your life and that you're getting to experience this in front of you. Everything we saw thus far was south of the parking lot. Now we've gone on the trail north of the parking lot. Let's see if the views can match what we saw in the south. Safe to say the views here on the north side definitely living up to what we saw over on the south side. I think this is where we're gonna end it here in Møns Klint. Still got another stop to go to today before we head back to Copenhagen, but this has been my favorite place in Denmark, not only, but also one of my favorite places I've ever visited in the world. All right, we will see you guys back at the car. I made it back to the car. Again, very successful trip here to Møns Klint. Now we're gonna go get lunch and then head to a beach in the village of Jersie. Again, the fact that this was free is remarkable. The only thing you have to pay for is parking. It's worth it. Make your way here to Møns Klint. All right, let's go to Jersie. Alright, we made it to Jersie Strandpark in the village of Jersie. This park should take us straight to the beach, and then we'll be able to get in the water, see how cold it is. Alright, made it to the beach. We're about 30 minutes outside of Copenhagen, and actually from here you can see the Copenhagen skyline. Very similar to if you've been to the Indiana Dunes. In Indiana, you can see the skyline of Chicago. Same vibe here. Not as impressive of a skyline of Chicago, but same idea. So yeah, we are literally just here to lay down, relax on the beach. It's gonna be nice. All right, as expected, the water is freezing. No one's actually completely in the water except for a few kids down there. Nice and refreshing, at least for the feet. Now we can say we've been in the Baltic Ocean, or Baltic Sea. Heading back to the car, just chilled, lay down on the beach for about 45 minutes, got a decent tan, hopefully. We'll return the car, and we'll see you back in Copenhagen. Alright, the car was successfully dropped off. Today was a pretty big day for me when it comes to Denmark. I mean, Copenhagen, first 2 days was incredible, but I mean, today, Møns Klint and the beach just really put this country over the top for me.
Denmark, you are truly something special. From your history like the Kastellet and Rosenborg castle to your natural wonders like Møns Klint, you truly left a big impression that will never be forgotten. Until next time, Denmark, Mange tak.